What's up, guys? This is going to be my reviews from this past week, which was August 14th, I want to say. Picked up 7 books. I enjoyed quite a few of them. A couple a little bit less than usual, but I'll get right into it. I also had one trade this week, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But these are in ascending order from my least to most favorite. Starting with, it's maybe an unpopular opinion, but Batman number 23. I didn't enjoy the first issue of Zero Year, and I felt like number 22 was a step forward in starting to tie up some of these loose ends and tying those storylines together. But this issue really didn't do anything for me. I don't know if it was the hype and before Zero Year started, but it isn't what I expected it to be, and it's not as impactful as I expected it to be. I realize we're only 3 issues in, and I'm not going to be, dropping this book anytime soon, but it's pretty clear for me at this point that I am not enjoying Zero Year thus far, and I really hope that number 24 picks it up a bit. I just don't find these storylines all that compelling. The Riddler I don't find all that interesting. I mean, the Red Hood gang is the stuff that I guess is the coolest thing going on in the book, but for me right now, Batman really isn't doing it. Next, we have Constantine number 6. This picks up where the Trinity War tie-in left off. He's in a little bit of a confrontation with Chris, who, if you guys don't know, Constantine got him killed in the first issue of this series. And I feel like that took a really long time. I feel like their conversation took a while, and I didn't find that particularly interesting, but it did pick up a little bit towards the end of the book. There are some Zatanna references towards the beginning of the book, and then someone comes to Constantine's aid a little bit later on, and it wasn't who I expected it to be. It probably was the last person that I expected it to be, so I found that was to be a little bit interesting. I do look forward to issue number 7, but I will say that was not my favorite issue of Constantine since I've been reading the book. And next, we have Justice League of America number 7, Trinity War Part 4 of 6. First thing I'm going to say is the art in this book is atrocious. I feel like one panel is fantastic, and then the next panel, it looks like a 6-year-old drew it. And when I flipped to the last page with Wonder Woman, I just laughed out loud because it was just so terrible. I don't understand how DC can put somebody so bad on such a big book and in such an important event. But story-wise, I also didn't feel like the story was progressed enough for my taste. I mean, we're a little bit, ahead of where we started off, but this definitely was my least favorite of the Trinity War issues thus far. But I think Justice League Dark is next, so we'll get some Mikel Janin artwork, who you guys know that I'm all about. Next, we have Batgirl number 23. This starts the Wanted story arc where Commissioner Gordon is looking for James Gordon Jr.'s killer. He knows it's Batgirl, but he does not know that Batgirl is Barbara. And the beginning of the issue, Gail Simone is still making sure that we understand how fragile Barbara is at this point, how she's still dealing with the fact that she killed her own brother, but and then towards the end of the issue, there's a sort of a confrontation between Commissioner Gordon and someone else who's important in Barbara's life, someone who I'm not particularly attached to, and so the ending didn't have as much of an impact on me as it might have on somebody else. But this was definitely a good issue. I've been enjoying the series since I picked it up at issue 16, I want to say, with the Death and Family tie-in. So really good stuff there, but not the best Gail Simone book this week by far. Next, we have The Walking Dead number 113. We have this confrontation between Rick and Negan still going on. I didn't feel like a whole lot happened. It was more or less a big conversation, but I feel like a lot of Walking Dead books have been like that lately. but there's sort of a surprising cliffhanger, so to speak, at the end. They do reveal, you know, on the last page what actually happened, but I don't feel like that was done as well as it could have been. It was pretty obvious to me that I'm trying to think about how to say this without spoiling anything. It was pretty obvious to me that what they were trying to make the reader believe wasn't true, and I talked about this a little bit with Mike yesterday at the shop, and he mentioned that there was a little bit of maybe prop work and additional components to that particular panel, which could have led the reader to believe something completely different, which I totally agree with. I just don't think it was done the best, but I am, you know, looking forward to this all-out war, so to speak, this Negan and Rick confrontation and all the other factions and stuff. It's going to start double shipping in October, I believe, so I am looking forward to that. And these two are maybe interchangeable for my book of the week. Maybe the next one is a little bit above this one, but this is Ghosted #2, more of a building issue than anything else. They do go and explore this haunted house. I feel like you learn a little bit more about all the characters, but there isn't substantial story building. But you do learn quite a bit about this character, I believe, the one who works for the collector guy. But you know, just a building issue, but this is a fantastic story. The setting is fantastic. The art is phenomenal. I felt like there was really cool, some really cool color stuff going on in here. Ghosted is a series that's definitely worth checking out, and I loved the first issue, and this issue is great as well. I cannot see where that goes. And my book of the week, the best Gail Simone book this week, was Red Sonja #2. Red Sonja is in a confrontation with a woman she considers her sister because they survived like sort of a prison scenario where they had to fight, and you know, whoever survived, the last person to survive would be released. And she and her sister, so to speak, not actually her sister, they both did survive, and she meets up with her again, and they're both sort of leading different armies that are clashing, and most of the issue is a confrontation between these two women, and I thought it was amazing. Red Sonja is at the end of the issue, she is in a completely different setting from the first two issues, which I think is going to be interesting to see where that goes. Red Sonja is a title that I've really been enjoying. I kind of picked it up on a whim because I've been enjoying Gail Simone's Batgirl, and it's been badass. And the trade that I read this week is American Vampire Volume 2, which again I thought was awesome. I loved the first volume. I really need to pick up Volume 3. What I think is amazing about these books is the time difference. I want to say the first one took place in the 1920s, and this one takes place in 1936. Just subtle differences in the setting and the everything around the characters, but I think it makes for really cool storytelling. You got Skinner Sweet in a different sort of role, and it's cool to see these same characters, sort of following these same characters like Pearl and Skinner, and then also an introduction of a new main character for this particular book. And also there were some more tie-ins from the first volume to the second volume, so I cannot wait to read the next one. And I also love Albuquerque's artwork. I think it fits this book fantastically, and I know he's going to be taking over Animal Man at issue 24, I want to say. So I'll also be looking forward to seeing what he can do on that book with Jeff Lemire. But those are all the books that I read this past week. I also got an order in from In Stock Trades, so I'll show you guys what I picked up if you don't mind. Fatale Book 2 and Book 3. Kevin sent me the first one a few weeks ago, and I thought it was fantastic, so I had to go out and pick that up. Next, I got Saga of the Swamp Thing, Book 3, Alan Moore, of course. I have read all these, but I'm working on getting my own copies of all of them. There's 6, so I'm halfway. I also got John Constantine, Hellblazer Original Sins. Since I'm reading the ongoing Constantine book, this has been on my list to check out, and I'm glad that I picked it up. I hope it doesn't ruin the new Constantine title for me, because I've heard this is significantly better. But And then finally, I picked up DC Comics Classic Library Roots of the Swamp Thing. This is the hardcover. This includes House of Secrets 92 and also numbers 1 through 13, I believe, of the original volume. So I'm looking forward to reading this. It's a really beautiful book, and I got it for a crazy awesome deal on In-Stock Trade. So that's everything for this week. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to pick up books this Wednesday. I'm thinking that I might drop my shop a line and let him know that I'm going to be out of town and I can pick up my books at another shop. I don't know how he would feel about that, but we'll see. I might be back on Wednesday with a pull list video. I might not, but regardless, I will talk to you guys soon. And thanks for watching.